So I use the term industrial athlete a lot because there are so many connections that you can make from the game of football, from sports, that you can bring into the real world and apply to life. There's so many comparable situations. Think about the average construction worker, the average manufacturing worker. Yes, they may lift lesser loads, but you're having to lift these same loads for 35 to 40 years versus the average professional athlete, 5 years. I don't know about you, but the weight is different when you come in 18 fresh out of high school, even if it's 45, 50 pounds, compared to 65, 55, when you're having to lift the same amount of weight. The name of the game is posture, force, and frequency. Those are the key ergonomic risk factors that lead to lower back injuries, that keep people out. As a safety professional, my job is to not only care about people and prevent injuries in these four walls. I want people to retire and be able to pick up their grandkids and be able to enjoy their regular life, do things that they love. 20% of all workplace injuries accounted are directly tied to lower back injuries. 20% of all workplace injuries are lower back injuries. And lower back injuries are responsible for more lost time days, more days away from work than the common cold. It's a critical issue. It's an issue that we have and that you need to address. The only way that you can address these issues, specifically posture, force, and frequency, the name of the game, the ergonomic risk factors that you need to key in on to prevent and eliminate lower back injuries. Lower back injuries. Because yes, at 18, you may be good. You may be able to do it wrong. Maybe to lift with your back. Maybe it'll just strong arm the weight. But that same weight, you're going to be required to lift at 55. So you want to practice proper lifting technique. It's critical. Tips that I have: number one, physical activity. Some form of exercise, wake up and work out. Make sure before you go to work that you're warmed up. You stretched your lower back. Even if you have a desk job where you sit and look at the computer screen for 8 hours, you want to make sure that you stretch your lower back out. You want to make sure you stretch out your neck. You want to make sure that you walk around on your lunch break, that you have regular physical activity on a day-to-day basis is key. I mean, it is key. What you do outside of work will affect how you perform at work. You can't eat double cheeseburgers and expect to go out on the football field and expect and be a star athlete. You're going to play like those double cheeseburgers. You have to think of yourself as an industrial athlete. Warm your body up before you go into activity. Fuel for performance during the day while you're at work. Consume double cheeseburgers, perform and play like double cheeseburgers. You have to move with that mindset and just make that a habit of at least stretching before work. Physical activity every single day. That's number one. And number two, proper lifting technique. Proper lifting technique, specifically when I talk about proper lifting technique, I talk about the power zone and keeping the weight within your power zone. So no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to be able to lift more weight if you lift from the power zone and you practice proper lifting technique when you're actually lifting the weight. You're going to be able to lift more weight safely over time. Those are two risk factors that you eliminate by keeping the weight within the power zone, close to the body, between mid-thigh, chest height. This is where you can lift the most amount of weight with the least amount of effort. Critical. That's one of the biggest key factors. Like I said, what leads to lower back injuries, you talk about posture, awkward or improper posture, improper lifting technique, force, the amount of force, how much the whatever you're lifting weighs, the amount of force it takes to lift the load, you have to exert to lift the load, and frequency, how many times you perform that task. Those three risk factors lead to lower back injuries. So if we don't have a dollar, you can focus on proper lifting technique. You can make sure that you're lifting from the power zone. You see, from the power zone, that's where you can exert the most force. In this picture, in this illustration, you see that she wasn't lifting with her back. She squatted and was lifting the load close to her body the entire time. So critical. Power zone. Another example also. And you have to think about this. You have to think about this. We have long careers. So it may seem minute. It may seem something that like something that you shouldn't be focusing on. But it's something that's critical. Your body needs to last 35, 40 years. We don't have the luxury of a 5-year career. As an industrial athlete, key tips, take care of yourself. Stretch, warm up before you practice any type of lift. That's in any situation. And make sure when you're performing the lift, you're keeping the weight within your power zone. You're not lifting with your back. You're cognizant of that. Because I want you to be able to retire and pick up your grandkids. But that's my message. Power zone, thank me later.